This video is about the order of cleansing and why. We're going to run you through 3 months of cleansing. We're going to start with the colon, then we're going to do the kidneys, then we're going to do infectious organisms. We call it a microbe cleanse, parasite, yeast, fungus, etc. We're going to go on to the lymphatic system. Then we're going to work on the liver and the gallbladder, and then finally we're going to do a heavy metal cleanse. So I want to talk about how God designed the human body and why it's important to cleanse in that order. We start with the colon. The majority of waste of the body, of solid mass, filters out through the colon. We kind of know that. That might seem kind of obvious, no-brainer, right? But the colon is where so much toxins come out, and people don't realize that it gets clogged up, it gets congested. Even if we're going to the bathroom every day, oftentimes people's colon have impacted old fecal matter on the colon walls. If you've ever had a history of constipation or any bowel-related issues, or even if you just have any sickness and disease in general, any diagnosed illness, you very likely need to cleanse your colon. Dr. Bernard Jensen wrote a book called Death Begins in the Colon. Not an amazing, exciting title, but there's a lot of truth to it, because if we don't take care of our colons, that's the main organ that takes in nutrition and eliminates waste. So we really have to cleanse the colon. Hippocrates also said, for all patient complaints, look to the spine and look to the bowels. And the embryo, when it's formed in the womb, the first thing that forms is actually the colon, and all the organs bud off of it. So every nerve of the human body is connected to the colon. So does it matter what you eat? You bet. Does it matter if you cleanse your colon? You bet. So the colon is crucial. Then we're going to move on to the kidneys. Now, between the colon and the kidneys, this is how we eliminate almost all waste out of the human body, except for the skin, which is called the third kidney, is the nickname for the skin. But we're not doing skin cleansing in this summer detox challenge, but your skin will clear up by following this. So the kidneys is what eliminates the fluid waste out of the body. So you got the solid waste eliminated through the colon, fluid waste eliminated out of the kidneys. So all the acid waste has to come out through the kidneys. And if you think of the kidney damage we have today, you think of diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney stones, urinary tract infections, bladder infections, frequent urination, burning urination. There are so many issues tied to having poor kidney function. And if your kidneys aren't filtering, if the kidneys aren't removing acid waste back up in the human body, and this creates sickness and diseases. We know it. It's a backup of the sewer system, and the waste cannot get out through the kidneys, and it cannot get out through the colon. And if the waste can't get out, waste start accumulating in the body. We get autotoxicity. The body organs start to break down. Toxins start to come out through our skin, and it starts the cascade of this process. So this is why we cleanse the colon and the kidneys first, because these organs must be open for the rest of the body to cleanse and detox. The next thing we do is a microbe cleanse. Yeast, fungus, bacteria, viruses, parasites. People have infectious issues. They don't even realize it. Now, antibiotics are handed out like candy out there in our medical industry that destroys the terrain of our body, all the good and the bad. And we know that there's issues with infections because people are getting all kinds of sicknesses. But people don't realize we harbor infections in our lymphatic system. We have what I call low-grade systemic infections kind of hiding out, just waiting for an opportune moment. A lot of people know it. It's obvious when they're getting reoccurring yeast infections or urinary tract infections or etc. But these infections are in our body, and we have to cleanse them out. We have to remove them out of our system. Now, the reason that they're there is because our body is acidic and it's toxic, and that attracts these infectious organisms that are actually there trying to clean up and remove the waste out of our bodies. So we got to break these down and out of our system, and that's the third step of the cleanse. The fourth thing is lymph. The great lymphatic system is the great sewer system of the human body. Its job is to remove all the waste out of the bloodstream, because the life of all flesh is in the blood. Leviticus 17, the blood sustains its life. So many of these organs are designed to keep the blood healthy, and the lymph filters out toxins out of the blood. The lymph is 100,000 plus miles in the human body. The major pockets are right here around our neck, under our armpits, in our intestinal area, in our growing behind our knees. People are getting lymphoma, lymphedema, but just having swelling, water retention, reoccurring acne and skin conditions, women getting fibroids and having breast issues and breast cancer and tenderness and soreness around their cycles. And you can go on down the list of all the results of congested lymph. Think of weight, extra weight gain, the cellulite that we always talk about. This is just congested lymph. It's fluid retention. It's toxins trapped in the lymphatic system. So the job of the lymph is to remove all of these acidic wastes out of the body. And it's a crucial system, and I would argue probably the most crucial system to cleanse. But again, you want to have your colon and your kidneys open and functioning before you can cleanse all these wastes out, because all lymphatic waste cleanse out through the kidneys. And so the kidneys have to be opened up for the waste to get moved out of your body. The next thing we cleanse is the liver and the gallbladder. It's the general, it's the workhorse, it's what filters all of the blood. The blood cycles through the liver every 3.5 minutes approximately. And it is designed to remove and filter toxins out of our blood as well. And we cannot cleanse the liver if everything else is backed up. If our lymph is congested, our kidneys and colon are congested, that liver cannot heal and detox. And so many people know they have liver issues. They have headaches behind the eyes, they have a chronic stiff upper neck, back, shoulder, pain on the right side where the gallbladder is. People have already had their gallbladders taken out and removed. We get jaundice of the skin and of the eyes, and there's so many symptoms related to liver congestion. But we cannot cleanse it out, and we can't go after it first, because we have to unclog all of these other parts of the body before we can get to the liver, and the liver can start to dump and to cleanse and to detox. And then the last thing we cleanse, the last step, is actually heavy metals. Heavy metals are extremely dangerous, extremely toxic. The biggest area of concern is probably all the mercury amalgam fillings and all the other metals that are in people's mouths that leak into their bloodstream and into their nervous system that are causing damage because they're neurotoxins. Now, we also encounter these toxins and these heavy metals in different work environments, in the auto industry, factories, I mean, depending on where you work. But these metals are so toxic that they deposit in tissues of the body. Because remember, the life of all flesh is in the blood. So God cannot allow toxins and waste to be trapped in the bloodstream. That is really bad news. And these metals are so poisonous, they get them out of the body ASAP and they deposit in organs. Oftentimes the kidney, the liver, even the brain, different parts of the body. And so you do not want to start doing heavy metal cleansing products and start releasing these metals out of the organs if they don't have a way out. If they can't get out through the kidneys and they can't get out through the bowels, people get really, really sick. And they start to have major reactions because these poisons, these metals, are getting into the blood and they don't have a way out. And so they're going to cause symptoms, and then they're going to redeposit back into the tissues and just cause more damage. So that's the last thing we cleanse, and that's heavy metals. So enjoy it. I hope that gives you an understanding on the process of how we cleanse and why. We're going to help walk you through each of these different stages of cleansing. I hope you enjoy it. It's not supposed to be miserable. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be life-giving. It's supposed to be healing. It's about taking back and restoring our health for us and for future generations. God bless.